Hey everyone, I'm Nick.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Testbed Fred, my 2003 Infiniti M45. Well, it's my second 2003 M45.
More like 2003 trash heap.
The original plan for this video was to take care of all the problems so it was ready to get registered and inspected and back on the road in New Jersey. But things didn't really go so smoothly. No! Of course. Whoops. So we're only part of the way there. Do you want to say how things have been going for you?
Testbed Fred's been kicking my ass. I don't know about this one.
This close to just giving it up and sending it on down the road. But yeah, it's been a challenge. We've actually made a lot of progress. Some of it you can see right here. So let's take a trip back to the past and see everything that we've done so far. All right, so Fred is in the garage and in the air, so it's a perfect time to take a look underneath and see what's going on, because I can tell you already, a couple spots where he's dripping. As we make our way down, you can see the bellows on the struts are bad. It's completely disintegrated, and the bump stops are in bad shape too. But at least the struts are functional, so let's keep going. Now under the front, you can see we're missing some under trays. There's supposed to be one here and one back here at least. And I mean, not too bad. One thing to notice is this radiator looks pretty new. I mean, it looks brand new, honestly, which is interesting, but we'll take a closer look when we get to the top side. This is the lower control arm, which appears to be leaking. And looking around in here, there isn't actually anything leaking from above it. So it kind of seems like it's just leaking from the bushing itself. So it might be hydraulic fluid filled, which could explain why it's so big, but who knows? It's pretty strange because it's just been dripping as it sits. But it's just something we'll have to replace. And unfortunately, these are very expensive, but we'll see what we can do. Now moving along here, it looks like the drain plug gasket is leaking, just seeping a bit, so we'll have to replace that. We have some oil marks on the engine. And up here, it's pretty wet by the compressor. You can see there. We'll probably be able to get a better look. Yeah, you can kind of make out up there, there's a connector that's really wet. So we'll take a look at that from the top soon. I think that looks like a camshaft position sensor, and on some cars I know of, they can leak. Suspension on this side is tired but not leaking. We have the power steering rack. There's something going on here. Doesn't look catastrophic because it's not actively dripping, but it's something we'll have to keep an eye on. Yep, there's a transmission connector here that's just zip tied because the connector latch is broken. Not ideal, but at least it works. We've got an exhaust bracket mount that's broken here. I think the O2 sensor we need to replace is this one up here, which is not easy to get to. Oh wow, and the plug is way up there. Okay, that'll be fun soon. Have a replacement already. The transmission looks dry. I don't really know what that is. On the secondary cats, flex disc was good. Generally the body is really clean. Looks like someone damaged the heat shield here when working on this and kind of boogered the exhaust back together. A little bit more surface rust back here and a shiny diff. Now, not 100% sure, but this definitely looks like it's been replaced. I'm wondering if maybe the drain plug is leaking. Hopefully that's it, because we can open it up, drain and refill the fluid, and then maybe try to seal that drain plug better. But If it's the seal here, that might be a little more involved. The ABS sensors are over here. You can see the rings that they read. They're on both sides, and they actually connect up here. They're a single part to the same harness, which makes it double the price of a regular ABS sensor. But we will be replacing that. And that should get our ABS light and slip lights taken care of. Back here, otherwise, it's pretty good. You know, I did find out looking earlier that, you know, I was wondering what this was, and it turns out it connects right here. I didn't realize this was a valved exhaust. So like, it seems like one half of after the split has a valve, and then it reconnects back here on the muffler, which also has some scuff marks on the bottom. So I guess when these get towed, these rub. But otherwise, it's looks pretty good, all things considered. All right, let's get these ABS sensors out. The part we're using for the rear ABS sensor is standard ALS 2167. Let's take a quick look at how it's routed. Got a connector there. That clips into the body right there. And then we have two clips here that go on the top up there. These are 12mm bolts. Come on. Turning a little. Get a bit of PV blaster in there. Let that soak a bit. Work on the connector here. Whew. No. Of course. All right, so here's where we are. I've taken a little break. I've got the ABS sensor out on this side. It did not go very well. This broke off, and then I had to like kind of push it back without damaging these. The stud is in here, and what happened is this cover is aluminum, and the bolt was steel. Now, I don't know if this comes like this from the factory, but I think whoever replaced this probably didn't use a bunch of anti-seize on it, or maybe used the wrong material, or maybe Nissan just made a bad choice. I really don't know. Maybe this is the original. I don't know. Anyway, same thing happened on this side. Unfortunately, getting a drill, it can't get in there at the right angle. I don't want to just glue a new ABS sensor on because unfortunately the replacement pair is like over $300. So I think what we're gonna do is actually maybe remove the diff, fix that, put it back in. I didn't want to do that, but that may be the best way to do it. I did think about removing just the diff cover, but unfortunately the way it's designed, it goes through the subframe. It bolts in through there, and that's a stud. So even if you remove that bolt and all the mounting bolts here, or the flange bolts, you can't get the cover out. So let's kind of get everything ready to remove this. So the first thing I'm gonna do is PV blaster on every nut and bolt, including these, in there. I'm gonna start with this one because if something goes wrong here, we'll take it from there. And then up here, which you can actually spray from the back. And these are nope, they're just hex. So yeah, and then and up there you can kind of see there's a hose, it's a vent hose, so we'll get that off too. And I want to make sure I get the ABS harness off as well, because otherwise we'll just rip this. Not that it's reusable, but you know, try to make it easier for ourselves. Okay, let's try to get this ready before I get to spraying everything. Turns out this is basically the 350Z diff too, so if something goes terribly wrong, we can get a replacement. And actually, the later years, like 350Z had a limited slip diff, and I don't actually know if this one is limited slip, so maybe it would be an upgrade. All right, so a little update. I've removed this bar here, which was held in right here with 4 14mm nuts. I used heat and BB blaster to get them free, and then work them off right over here, because if I need to move the sway bar out of the way to get to these bolts, I needed to get this out of the way too. Now I've also just broken free the nut for the stud up here. So I'm gonna pull it out because there is a chance that it could pull out the stud. And if it pulls out the stud, maybe we can just remove the diff cover. So we will see. Let's find out. Let's see, is it just a nut? Yeah, it's just a nut. And our grounding point, which I just dropped right here. So this goes on the stud, and it's held on with the 17mm nut. Now to get to these 17mm bolts, unfortunately, if we look straight at them, they're blocked, so getting our socket on them is not super easy. So what I was doing was loosening these bolts. You can kind of spray through that opening there to the top side of the bolt. So I did that on both sides, but you can kind of see in there, the bolt is a little rusty. So I don't want to end up with another broken bolt, especially on the sway bar. So I'm going to let it soak a little bit. Now, I found these are 8mm Allen bolts, and these are 14mm nuts and bolts on the axles. Keep going. Is that another bolt? There's another bolt. Okay, let's get that out too. Good thing I checked. That would have been annoying later. So I'm removing the rear sway bar. Actually, it removed the upper mount for the sway bar end links and the rear bolt for the sway bar bushings. Same thing on this side, because this side is getting this undone, and then the nut jammed and it started unthreading from the link, and that was rounding off. So I actually ordered a replacement pair of end links, and we'll replace that when we reinstall it. So now I'm gonna slide this back, and hopefully we can work it out around the exhaust. So I would really prefer to not have to remove the exhaust, but we'll see. We may need to, and it's not a huge deal. Let's just unbolt it there, disconnect the valve, and then unhook it here, and here, and here, and here, and here. Yeah, that's about it. Okay. I don't know if this could come out without the exhaust. I removed the bolts there. I've popped out the cable for the valve here, and then I loosened the nut on the outside here, so slot that out. So now the only thing holding the exhaust in should be all the hangers. Okay, that's out. Whoa. Okay. That was supporting a lot more than I expected. Okay. Okay. Oof. Okay. Ooh, this is heavy. Oh boy. Okay, this is heavy. Great Scott. Okay. Okay. What do I do now? Oops. Okay, can I pivot it down? Nope. Okay, how do I do this now? Oh. Whoops. I did not hurt myself yet. Okay. Ow. Might still bruise. Okay. Well, I'm a bit stuck. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Okay, now I'm stuck. Ow. Okay. This is really heavy. Ooh, yeah, I'm kind of stuck. Okay. Now, Whew, hit myself in the funny bone. Safe. Ow, that was not very safe. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, try to get help for this. With the exhaust off, we can disconnect the drive shaft. Then the axle shaft. I used some zip ties to support the axles so that they don't hang down or get in the way when we remove the diff. Oh, there we go. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yep. This is an example of what not to do. Use a taller jack or a better height extender if you need one. It's not balanced.
What's not balanced?
The diff.
Oh, you okay?
I got it.
Did you chain it?
I did. It was not enough. I'm really lucky I didn't damage anything or hurt myself. Now let's open it up and get these broken bolts out. Oh, it's popped back shut. Alright. Oh, is this factory sealant maybe? There's like recesses for the sealant.
Oh, interesting.
Nice. It looks fine, like wear seems even.
And this isn't a viscous limited slip, this looks like an open.
Yeah. And split it off the
Just like the other one?
yeah, the plastic part is seized in the thing too. Just like no anti-seize whatsoever. Yay. Wow, and there's no chance of getting these out intact apparently because I don't know. In an effort to break up the galvanic corrosion between the aluminum and the steel bolt, I'm going to heat the area. Because aluminum expands faster than steel, so that could help release the galvanic corrosion, break them apart. So when we weld a nut on it, it'll come out. So I got fire extinguisher, torch, covered up the diff with a bag and a welding blanket. So when I do weld later, I don't get little bits of metal in the gears. Be careful, aluminum conducts heat really well, so if you touch it, you might burn yourself. Maybe the PU blaster will seep in. Try this side, put a washer over it. Put that over it here. Ooh, that's hot. Alright, let it cool down for a while, I guess. Ooh, yeah. M8 washer fits perfectly. Let's see. Nope. Oh, come on. Am I that bad at welding? Is that really? I bet this one's the same. Nope. Damn. Oh, it's a lot stronger. Ow. Come on. Oh my god! Oh my god! For the first time in a long time, I got a bolt out! Yeah! Ooh, and we can even measure the threads! Oh! Yes! Yeah! That is satisfying! Yes! Alright. So I guess... Oh, I only have one more of these to make it work. I guess, weld onto the stud, then put the bolt on. I did also turn the feed rate down. I have my machine set to, I have 0.025 wire. I have it set to 10 gauge, but I turn down the feed to 416 inches per minute. That might be the trick, I don't know. That's it. Yes. Ooh, that's... Don't breathe that. I don't know how much of the result is heating this at the end after welding it or getting a proper weld, but this is just a kitchen torch. Oops, so cooking the wood a bit. Promising. Come on, do it. Come on. Yes. 2 in a row. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's the trick for me. Slower feed. Start by getting a bit of weld on the stud, and then weld the nut on, because I wasn't getting nearly good enough penetration on the stud with the nut in place. Oh. Now, I think these are M7 or M8. I gotta measure it and figure it out. Awesome. And the threads look good. We're gonna have to re-prep the surface, because I absolutely don't want the next sensors to stick in here. So I'm gonna use like, well, that, and I don't want the sensors to stick in the holes. So I will clean up the surface, and I will be slathering it in anti-seize, so this doesn't happen again. Whoa, what a nightmare. All right, now let's start cleaning up the surface. I gotta, I forget what these are called, finger brushes or whatever, and a die grinder. There's a pitting in here from the corrosion. That's crazy. All right, now we need to make sure that these openings are clear and will actually allow the new sensors to fit in without binding like they did this time. So I got some brass brushes here that I can attach to a drill, work through here. Whoops. And I also got some nylon ones and steel ones. And nylon ones are really useful to clean up the threads in here. Just kind of shove them in and then twist them, and it'll pull the dirt out of the threads. Now I have to see if this will clean up. That's a lot of dust. Whew, don't breathe that. Ooh, yeah, that's better. That's better. It's still jamming a bit. Oh, there's like corrosion in there too. Wow, this is great. Super great. So it's like built up on there. Wow. You can kind of see there the buildup. That's stopping the sensors from sliding in smoothly. Yep, it's flaking off once you can kind of chip it off. Honestly, knowing this now, I realized I had no chance of getting these off when I tried to remove them in the first place. Even if the bolts hadn't snapped, it probably would have been difficult or almost impossible to remove these sensors. And you have to be careful because the wheels that they read are right behind them, so getting leverage is really tough. Yeah, it's way better. Okay, same thing on the other side. You can actually kind of see it there. All that with the grooves in it. Those grooves are from here. And that should actually be a smooth bore, like on this side. So all of that is the corrosion, I guess, that you can just scrape out carefully. I think I've got them cleaned enough. Now the sensor can just fit through. It'll be perfect. And now it's time to clean up the gasket surface. So we need to make sure that we don't scratch the mating surface. We're probably gonna need a plastic trim tool to work on this. This is probably also gonna take a little while, so I'll just come back once I've done this. This plastic tip is gonna be perfect because it's not gonna scratch the surface or stab me as badly if I mess up. On this side of the diff, it's a flat surface, so we're just gonna use a plastic scraper to get the rest of the old gasket off. All right, with everything cleaned up, I'm gonna apply the sealant here. And then we'll tighten it up and torque it to spec. We all start somewhere, right? I've usually worked on things that have gaskets that you can buy, but the manual says just gasket maker, so here we are. You know, this looks kind of messy. I don't know how good it is, but like I said, this is the first time I'm doing it. You gotta start somewhere. If it leaks, I guess I'll do it again. Maybe I put too much. We'll see. All right, now I'm gonna torque this to 44 Newton meters. I'm gonna go in a star pattern. That's back together. Really cure. All right. In an effort to not drop the diff, I've made a height extension platform right here. Strapped it down. These are secure. And we're gonna try to put it back in. I've also put a little bit of anti-seize in here if we want to put the drive shaft in. If we have to take it back out, it should be a little easier. And I have a new drain plug because this one, I was a little concerned that if I got it up to torque spec, I wouldn't be able to get it out. So I got a new magnetic one. It's M18 by 1.5, and it's like a bolt head instead of a Allen head. Ooh, okay. Yes, it's threading on. Now if something happens, it should still be attached here. I can breathe a little easier now that I know that it's not gonna fall out anymore. Oops. All right, the new bolt, and that's the new drain plug. Right there. Now we're gonna torque the front bolts to 100 Newton meters. Yep. And on the rear, we'll do 110. There we go. There we go. And strapped in. I guess while I'm here, maybe I could get that hose back into place. So you can see it there. You could put it back in once that bolt's in, might be easier to reach. But you can also use a hose clamp like that to like push it on, and then we'll use the ratcheting hose clamp grabber to slide it over and back into place. And here we go, it's in the right spot. All right. Now it's finally time to put the ABS sensors back in, which is where we started in the first place. Replacement bolts are M8 by 1.25, 20 millimeter, and a washer. Before I do anything, I'm gonna put anti-seize on all this. That's torqued to 34 Newton meters, but you can go up to 39. Right, now let's fill the diff using 75W90. And we'll fill it until it drips out of the fill port. Uh-oh, did I not get, yep, there it is, yeah. Torque that. All right, so I'm gonna change the end links. The sway bar end links. Now, one thing you want to make sure is you use the right one. They are not the same on either side. Pop this in here and keep moving. think I may have made a mistake. I think the exhaust goes through here, so this has to come back out. As I'm tackling the O2 sensor, it's the green cable there, and it turns out it's vertical in here, so you can get an O2 socket on there, and we're gonna break it free and then thread the new one in. You can kind of see it down here if I get the light in the right spot. So I got the sensor out, and I don't know what happened here. If it melted or something hit it or what. There's no wonder it's not working. And here's what it's supposed to look like. Jeez. That's wild. All right, so this is the rear right caliper. You can see it is not worn evenly at all. It's really not great. We'll try to find out what's going on with the caliper. That's supposed to be glued, and that came off, so.
It got so hot.
Yeah. Most of the brake discs were seized on, so the air hammer was really helpful.
Don't do that if you ever plan to use it, but this one's shot.
So I put anti-seize on here. That way they'll come off again when you need them.
Oh, there's the sensor.
Yeah, it's coming out. The whole thing's coming out. Wow. Look how nice things are when it's not mixed metals. Incredible. Who would have thought?
There we go.
Unnecessary. Like,
Completely unnecessary.
literally, that thing is right there.
So on this other side somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, connectors right here. With the brakes done, things look a lot better. Except for this one. The caliper's sticking really badly, so we actually have a new one on the way. No more ABS lights. Nice. Check engine light should come back, but it's a good start.
But the fact that it didn't come back immediately says it's reading the new thing.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see how things progress. You might also remember that the bumper, the lights, and the grille were in really rough shape. With a lot of effort from Rob, the chips were repainted, the lights were polished, and the grille was refinished. And it looks a million times better now. So while Fred's not completely done, we've made a lot of progress.
I think we need a win though. Like, just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
So why don't we put on the wheels?
If you've been following the channel and the other M45, this should be pretty fun.
Okay.
You're not looking at the other Infiniti, this is still Fred. The other Infiniti has Giovanna Dellar 5s, and these are Giovanna Dellar 5Vs, which are very different. Not really, they have a slightly different accent here, and the lug nut holes are teardrop shaped here instead of just circular. And they're slightly different specs, but it'll be really fun to have these two cars side by side when this one's done. Now, like I mentioned in the other video, I do want to go for the VIP style, and these may not be quite the right fit, but they were a crazy good deal, and we've been looking for spares for the other Infiniti, so these were perfect. Probably end up changing them in the future, but for now, it's a really nice upgrade from the stock wheels. That's our progress report on Testbed Fred. It's been a really tough week and a half, so be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hype the video, because there's more coming, like that driver's seat that is really unsafe that needs to be fixed, and a couple of other things too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.